My sense, Alicia, is that you largely agree with what Ron just laid out there. Tell me where you don't, if you don't. But I was also struck in my notes by one thing that you said to keep an eye on, and that was the energy sector as a bit of a telltale on where the market and the economy may be headed. Why energy?
So thanks. Nice to see you again, Tyler, on a Friday afternoon. Yeah, I do think energy is really the place to go for you to see where the market's going, because that is the deep value play here. That is the sector that's really unfavored and also subject to a lot of regulation with this administration. If this sector can power ahead in terms of price performance, and I think you're safe in terms of where the market's going. And so I would use this almost as a contrarian observation of, where we think the market's going, that despite the regulation that has come and will come, if it can power ahead, the market's okay. I'll say this, I think that the higher yields do require some rotation into financials and into industrials. Industrials really have underperformed for the last few months. They've been quiet. They've been building bases. So I'd look to industrials right here. I think some of the longer duration assets could have trouble as yields move higher.
What is the lesson, Alicia, to you of this Reddit scenario that we've been living through the last 2 weeks? What can investors take away from it intelligently and safely?
Yeah, so in some ways, the Reddit rebellion was really what I'm calling a perfect storm. And it really started with over-positioning on the short side. And you kind of needed that as a prerequisite condition to get this going. But then, of course, you've got people at home, stimulus, extra cash in bank accounts, and a social community that moved together. And I think that's really a fascinating thing. I think the lesson I'd like for retail investors and all investors to learn that parabolas don't end well. Very hard to commit new capital when parabolas are growing, because it doesn't end well. It may not end in a month or a year, but it will end. And you have to be very nimble here when you get these kind of price movements. And wherever you're invested, those kinds of moves are dangerous ultimately.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.